Hey, so my name is Beth Cougler Blom, and I live just outside of Victoria in British Columbia. And I'm a mother and a business owner. I'm self-employed as a facilitator and a learning designer, or some people might call that instructional designer. Both terms, no one really knows what that is. Yeah, my husband and I have one daughter, and what can I say? She's in grade 5, and I think thinking about work and home, being an entrepreneur has really worked for me because it's allowed me to have the kind of life I want with my family and the flexibility that allows me to spend more time with her and, be the mom that sometimes goes on as the chaperone. We just went to the museum, Royal BC Museum a couple of weeks ago. And, I've gone skating with the kids and this and that. I've actually volunteered, weekly in the classroom a few years ago. And so it's always a juggle of what that looks like. But I think being an entrepreneur has really allowed me to have that kind of flexible life to be more available to our daughter. And that's been a huge gift that entrepreneurial work has given me. As I think as women, we have tons of strengths, and then, relationship building is often one of them. And as an entrepreneur, I mean, that's a huge skill. And that's something that maybe have naturally from being a woman, but maybe it's something that you will hone as, your entrepreneurial work continues. But so the relationship building piece and the parenting piece and the flexibility, the control over your own work, I think parents, I mean, for men too, right? Being a parent, maybe necessitates flexible work sometimes, whatever that looks like. Even if you're working for an employer, having flexibility within that is pretty much a gift. So making the choice to become an entrepreneur, to be able to have control over my own life, I would absolutely recommend that for others too. But I love control, and I like control over my own life. Like once you've had a taste of being an entrepreneur and being able to control what it is that you do and what you don't do, I think it's hard to go back to working for someone else. Like actually a lot of consultants in town that I know, we kind of joke about it and say, oh, we're ruined to sit in somebody else's seat forevermore because of the flexibility and the control that we have had. And it's the best. So it is difficult to go back and think about giving all that choice over to somebody else again. It may not ever happen for me. I want to keep that choice. The connection that I think we could all keep working on with each other to become closer, and to support each other is really big. And even though I work a lot with technology and I design courses with technology and I'm a really big pro tech kind of person, I do think a lot about the impact of technology on our ability to connect with each other. And so it's my goal to, when using technology, still form and create space for really excellent connections to form, right? So when I teach online, I'm looking to have it be an experience where people are still connecting with each other. Like I want to blow the top off what people think online learning is, because they think it's not about connection. And for me, it absolutely is. So how do we continue to think about connection, what that looks like, both in person and online, and in our, every facet of our life? It's pretty crucial. When I look back at the things that I've done, a lot of it has been about connection, and the things that I've done as a volunteer often have been about connection. Like I'm the person that when I had my daughter, and she was a baby, I think she was about 3 months old, and I thought, man, I cannot sit at home by myself with this baby. Like I have to get out and do stuff with other people. And so I created a mom and baby group. It was called Victoria Baby Sightseeing. And we went around Victoria with our babies in our strollers and, like here, right? Like they're on our chests, and we went and did sightseeing activities together. But I started the group, and I, ran the group, and it was about control. I did the events at times that worked for me. And, but it was about bringing moms together so that we wouldn't be isolated when we had our babies. I don't know, just naturally along the years, I've realized that connection was very important to me, and that I was always doing things to help other people connect as well. And that was just part of the fabric of my being. There have been many challenges. So what comes to mind first is that it took me a while to find my niche. You know, like everyone says, oh, you've got to, you know, have a niche. And in the beginning, I really railed against it because I'm a curious type of person, and I just didn't want to have one niche. No, those are the three things I do. I design courses, I help groups with process facilitation, and I teach people about teaching or facilitation, both face-to-face and online. So the niche piece was huge in the beginning because I didn't know what it was, but now I do, and I feel like I've known it for a while. Yeah, so I'm working this year on a book project, and it's my first book. It's a nonfiction book, and you know, what prompted it is that I just thought that there was a lot of people teaching, instructing, facilitating, whatever you want to call it, in the nonprofit sector. And a lot of people probably got to it from some other career area, and they fell into facilitation of learning. And wouldn't it be cool to have a resource that they could draw upon to further their facilitation practice? So I'm writing a book on facilitating learning in nonprofit environments, using Canadian examples and drawing from my own experience, and interviewing awesome people across Canada to help fill in things from other people's experience. So I'm hoping it's going to be ready by the end of 2019, but it's fascinating. Oh man, it is so good to go through this process for my own learning, but I'm really excited that it could be, I think, a pretty useful resource for the nonprofit sector. And I don't think anything like it exists. So it's my passion project this year for the nonprofit sector and for the people like ourselves that are facilitating within it, and, you know, to give something back, but also I'm really learning as I do it as well. So, yeah.